All right, we should be good now. Yeah, that shit green. Hopefully it's not lagging. Because that last stream was lagging like a bitch. Let's check real quick.
Yo, what's
I
good?
think the
We're
only
back
reason
with
why I was lagging because I was uploading 2 videos. Yeah, we good. I was uploading 2 videos. So, yeah, don't try to upload and go live at the same time, yo. Word to advice. Word to my mother, no, word of advice. Let's see. Let me send my live out. We back live. Edit this thumbnail. Edit this thumbnail. No yapperton. Edit this thumbnail. No yapperton. Are you ready? It's time to play the game. I had to redo this, John, because yeah, that connection shit. I was uploading 2 videos, so we finna get right into it, right? We got the 13 Illuminati Bloodlines, man. Y'all ready? Let's get into it.
another one.
It's showtime.
Live, man. Hold on, mic check. We good? The sound good? Everything sound good? How we sounding? You say you just finished watching it? I'm about to watch it. It's my first time. Okay. Audio good, everything good. Let's get into it, man. Hit that like, y'all up in here, man.
Some people say the Illuminati is just a conspiracy meme. But here's what most people don't know. The Illuminati was actually a real secret society, and it didn't get shut down because it was harmless. It got shut down because its ideas were built to reshape society from the shadows. The Bavarian Illuminati started in 1776, founded by Adam Weishaupt, and it lasted less than a decade. It worked through secrecy, influence, and layers of initiation, meaning not everyone knew the real agenda. Authorities eventually raided the members.
That's funny. 1776. Interesting timeline.
Seized the documents, and by 1785 the group was dismantled. So the original Illuminati, it was real, documented, and destroyed. But here's the bigger question. Even if the organization died, did the ideology survive? Now, let's separate 2 things. The historical Illuminati was real but gone. The modern Illuminati talk often a label that people use for hidden influence and manipulation, while there is no confirmed evidence that one single headquarter called the Illuminati runs the world. It is also naive to pretend that powerful people don't network, shape culture.
I ain't gonna keep pausing it, but why the fuck would we know the name of the secret society that runs the world? Y'all gotta really think about this shit. Even people that work in government. You gotta remember that there's multiple societies. You got the Thelma, you got bro, there's so many different societies and families. Luciferian, Rose Crucifixions, like there's so many different orders, Freemasons, Yorkish Rite, Scottish, bro. You think it's just one place where they all do it at? No, it's a global.
Protect their interest and propagate demonic doctrines and agendas.
Hit that like, man.
It's crazy it was started by one guy.
Yeah, bro. It goes back thousands of years.
W video.
The misunderstanding that's common out there is that this man, Adam Weishaupt, which was a pseudonym, a name that he had taken actually, started the Illuminati. He did create a modern structure for it. He was paid by these families to create a modern structure. But he didn't originate the Illuminati. The Illuminati goes back thousands of years before him.
Exactly.
The Illuminati is the continuation of the mystery religions.
Right. Mystery schools.
There was quite a number of mystery religions in antiquity, and these mystery religions had councils that controlled them, and that would be today what we call the hierarchy of the Illuminati.
Right.
If we go back into antiquity, we will see that there were certain families that were deified as gods, like Pharaoh, Alexander the Great. These powerful families believed they were gods. You can never find any point in history where they gave up their power. What they did is they did a lot of sleight of hands and went underground or behind the scenes and let other people become frontmen.
Right.
But they've still stayed in power.
I told you, bro. It's been going on since the beginning.
Don't seem like much has changed.
Yep.
Illuminati-style ideology still shows up today, replacing faith with human reason, the idea that religion is the problem.
What do we need so many humans for?
And the enlightened people should lead the society without God, rejecting traditional authority, tearing down family, church, and moral boundaries, label them as outdated, promoting moral confusion,
Okay, feet apple pie. What the fuck? And bro, Hollywood be pimping out the kids, man. I didn't mean to pause on there. They look like something that's what they do in the Northwest right now too. That's why Northwest was like, hey man, don't take no pictures of my daughter, man, when I was at that dinner. And they thought he was just tripping.
as outdated, promoting
so many humans for.
And the enlightened people should lead the society without God.
Look at this fucking bot. Look at this fucking bot. Oh, Jay-Z, I got a Mercedes, Cristal, Champagne. Shut your fake, you fake ass occult tapped in. You ain't tapped in. Nigga, this nigga's in New York. That's more, nigga, my nigga, Seer Duke of Tears more tapped into you, Jay-Z. You just got all the money. Fuck you. And you ain't got no money that's really yours because you can't use it for what you want to use it for. What you talking about, bruh? There's no reason why Epstein should have been in them files saying that Jay-Z is a pawn that we use to get the black community in control. There's no way that shit shouldn't even. Jay-Z, and I get it, like, you can't save all black people, but I'm not finna whoop my people, though. Like, I'm on some shit to where I don't want to wake everybody up. I don't give a fuck. But I'm not finna fuck y'all over, though.
God, rejecting traditional authority, tearing down family, church, and moral boundaries, label them as outdated, promoting moral confusion, hypersexualized
I already got it turned down.
culture, mocking holiness, and all presented as freedom, and centralizing power and control, more surveillance, more dependency, more control through different narratives and different systems. I mean, COVID was a great example of that.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
So even if the organization, the Illuminati, is dead, its pattern and influence still continues today.
It's a bit hard to believe only a handful of people rule the world.
Trust me, bro. It's the 13 Bloodlines.
But it's a syndicate. It's a big crime syndicate. These are cartels.
You've spoken a lot about over-centralization of power, things like ULEZ. Where is that decision starting from?
13 families.
That was what I was trying to get to the bottom of. Is it families, organisations, corporate interests, banking?
About 10,000
what
people that run the world. There's 3,000.
Tell us more.
3,096 billionaires, 10,000 people in their families. That's who runs it. It's a syndicate. It's a big crime syndicate. These are cartels. Government is governed mind. That's what it means. Government mind. This is just the cartel. If you called them
hey y'all, government, govern mind, govern the mind. Don't ever forget that. I ain't gonna forget that.
The racketeers or the cartel or whatever, like they're fear racketeers. That's what they do. They sell fear.
What's fascinating is if you Google who are the 13 families that control our world, there's a downloadable PDF from this.
He didn't probably read a million books and doctrines. I've been reading this and I've been tapping into, but I just said that. They sell you fear. They sell you the fact that things are going to be the uncertainty of the world. They sell you rage. They sell you rage bait, race bait, gender bait. They sell you this shit. So, and you buy it. You buy your misery and your fear.
CIA's government website.
Is that true?
Yeah, bro. They don't hide the New World Order. It's written on their money.
Their whole purpose throughout history has been to teach a small number of people how to become adept at controlling everyone else. Their goal is to destroy all existing religions save theirs, all existing governments save theirs and shackle the mob in a system of eternal oppressive debt chained to a computer for the rest of their life, in a propagandized world to make them believe that they are happy in this system. Now, do you think they're succeeding? Haven't I described to you just now exactly what is going on in the world today? Yes, they're succeeding. They're succeeding because the American people don't understand their enemy. They don't even know what's happening.
Wow.
It seems like it's working.
Yeah, bro. They've been doing it for generations.
Who's at the very top? Who really rules the world? And I discovered it's a very, very interesting history of ancient Iranian tribes, the original Zoroastrians, and the first world Persian Empire that has controlled the world for the last 5,000 years. The entities that created the Jesuits during the Renaissance in Italy, it was none other than Alessandro Farnese, a Persian. They have 10
Hey, we got 5 people watching. Hit that like, man.
bloodline families that sit on a council, and they're the ones who advise the Jesuits. The Jesuits work for the Iranian bloodlines, and the Jesuits were created by Alessandro Farnese, who became Pope Paul III. We're talking about a global network with one template carrying all of this out. And originates with those ancient Iranian bloodlines. The Romans, the Etruscans, the Holy Roman Empire, they're all Iranians, they're all Persians, it's all Persian blood.
I find it hard to believe one group of people has ruled the world for 5,000 years.
Trust me, bro. It's through secret societies.
13 families. You've got Astor, Bundy, Collins, DuPont, Freeman, Kennedy, Lee, Onassis. Reynolds is not one of the top 13, but it's close up there. Rockefeller, Rothschild, Russell, and then you've got your 13th Illuminati bloodline, which is the Merovingian bloodline, which believes that they are descendants of Christ, descendants of Lucifer, in the House of David. You've got the Van Dyne family. So these are your top Illuminati families. They have many special committees and councils. For instance, your Council of 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, your Grand Druid Council, your Committee of 300, your Committee of 500. There was just as strong a Scottish contingency in Illuminati as your Jewish contingency here on this clan map of Scotland. But you'll see the Kennedys, which is a top 13 Illuminati bloodline. You'll find the Stewarts, who are good friends with the Rockefellers. You'll find the Morgans up here, for instance. Who hasn't heard of Morgan Guarantee? And here are the Sinclairs. They were given a hereditary leadership of Freemasonry and are members of the top 13, the top 13th Illuminati bloodline, the Merovingian Holy Bloodline.
I don't think all Freemasons are in the Illuminati.
Nah, bro. They use it to recruit the Illuminati.
Oh.
Freemasonry is the continuation of the mystery religions. Okay, Freemasonry and the Illuminati are like a glove in the hand. Well, hold on just a second.
Like, there's lodges everywhere. You can go to your downtown right now and find a lodge. There's Freemasonics everywhere. Just because a nigga got a Freemason emblem on his car, that don't mean that you got the deep initial secrets. Just because you join a fraternity, just because you a black boule member, that don't mean you black nobility. That don't mean you a high-ranking, like Jesse Jackson. That nigga was a high-ranking boule type nigga because of like how much power he had and what he did. But just because you fraternity or you a Freemason, that don't mean you skull and bones and you finna be in the government and you finna be the president, like, or you finna have any power. There's a level to this shit, so that would make sense. You gotta join a Freemason for them to see if they can initiate you higher. But why would, like, joining all these groups and societies and all this shit, I kind of get it before pre-internet era, because you could fall into shit. I get it pre-internet era, but with the internet era, if you join in a group, that's crazy. So back then I can see how you can get duped on some shit like this, or one of these people come up to you. But like, it's really best to move as an individual. But all these groups, bro, that shit is low level shit. So you thinking, oh, I'm a Nuwabian, or I'm this, or I'm a, somebody was in my chat like I'm a Riskian. I follow Malachi Zeke, I'm a Riskian or something. And it's just like, without that, what are you? You feel me? If that person didn't create that for you, what would you be? You'd be something else. So don't join no groups, because you ain't even getting the real meat of the shit. You could really learn everything about everything if you just put yourself outside of a group. Imagine not knowing how deep Freemasonry get because you on the 2nd degree.
Fritz, I mean, I know some Freemasons. I even work with one, and I mean, he seems to be the most down-to-earth guy I've ever known. And as a matter of fact, if I even get to talking to politics too much about him, I feel kind of sort of that I even know a little bit more what's going on than him. How is he controlling the world?
Oh, he's just a member of a lodge system.
A lodge system.
The lodge system needs a lot of good men at the base to support its structure.
Right.
2/3 of the Freemasons don't go beyond the 3rd degree.
The 3rd degree.
That
2/3 of Freemasons don't go through the fucking 3rd degree. It's supposed to be, you're supposed to be getting 32 degrees, and then only certain people can get the 33 degree, but they capping you off on 30 degrees when it's 360 degrees. Anyway, King Nimrod was a black man. We started free. No, I'm just playing.
Financial base supporting this pyramid structure. At the top, we have, for instance, the Sinclair family. You'll see that these bloodlines are in control of Freemasonry, just like so many other things. The royal family of Britain has been at the top of Freemasonry in the United Kingdom. It's not that every Freemason is in the Illuminati. It's that this is just one more system that's controlled by them, and it's been one of their most powerful tools in the world for carrying out what their agenda.
The history of the royal family is fucked.
Yeah, bro. They're all inbred.
Royal families interbreed because they're trying to hold a specific genetic code, and that code has to do with their hybrid nature, the divine right to rule and all that stuff. That's why they see themselves as...
Oh, they inbreed to keep the bloodline? I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, the older I, like, on some spiritual shit, it kind of makes sense. But, like, notice how our culture don't really do that. We don't have to inbreed to, like, but when you think about it, other tribes of melanated, we really the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you go to South Carolina, right? Let's say we go to the South. My folks from South Carolina. Let's say you in South Carolina, Atlanta, Alabama. Years have went on, so it's different families and different names, but how we know we all ain't cousins anyway? Like by 5th generation or 6th generation, it's just probably generations down. I don't know. Maybe I'm just, that was just a theory, but
superior to the rest of the population. But
they doing it different. They like, hey, mom sleep with son, and they on some other cousin over here. They play it a little different. But I feel like everything ran different in the ancient world too. So everything we know is like taboo today was probably a little bit more normal back then.
And humanity reached a point of maturity where it started to reject rule by royal succession. They had to replace that with another form of control, and so we had politics replacing royalty. They didn't disappear. They went into the dark suit professions, politics, business, and banking, and they've gone on interbreeding with each other ever since.
They kind of just kept inbreeding. They'd all come out fucked up.
Right.
It's why they use cadet families, bro.
That can't be the way that God created it, because like they say, you come out all fucked up when you inbreed. So you're trying to keep it pure, and you're literally killing your fucking genetics. Now I want my son to look like me, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. So I want to go with a melanated woman. But nigga, if I go to Asia one day or Thailand and I meet the right, like, You know what I'm saying? I'll meet the right indigenous Southeast, or go to the Philippines or something, you know? But I feel like my girl gotta speak English though. All that, like, you with a girl that's submissive, but she don't speak English, I'm cool off that. Like, you don't even understand me. You just hear, like, you're just literally like... I'll be seeing them videos, them niggas be having them Thailand girlfriends, she don't even speak English. Like, okay, bro, like...
Yo, what's good? We're trying to hit 250k subscribers. We're giving away a free piece of merch at the end of every episode.
You learn that shit. My partner went to ASU, boy, them niggas all look the same. Bro, I seen it was like a line of like, it'd be a line of like 100 white girls walking. They all look the same. I swear to God. That shit crazy. And it'd be like all the boys and they'll be all walking. I'm like, yo, they got them on a program. For real. If you ever just see a bunch of white kids out of college, it just looks crazy, bro. Like,
all you gotta do to win is leave a comment on this video and be subscribed. Let's get back to the show.
After about 200 years, a bloodline will just die out because they're infertile from so much inbreeding. And so they would just take a cadet family, one of the other branches, and they plug them in. And so it was the same bloodline. But if you look at the Habsburgs, they all have strawberry blonde hair. It's reddish blonde. And there's a Pope, Orsini, who had reddish blonde hair, and I think he was involved in the Habsburg line. Another one is Bill Clinton's mother, who was the illegitimate child of Winthrop Rockefeller, who was governor of Arkansas. That's why Clinton was president, and now Hillary Clinton. She's actually, her middle name was Rodham. What I looked it up, and it was shortened from Brodowski. And she's from a Jewish family in Brodowski, Poland. They keep rebreeding the ancient stock, the Chi in Italian, like Medici. Yeah, Chi means the
Did y'all know Hillary Clinton family from Poland? You Poland Dutch motherfuckers.
The stock, the bloodline you're from, or the tribe. It means DNA is what it means. And it's always through the female. It's not through the male. It's through the female.
That's cap. Black nobility family really black. They not white people. Fuck that. Nope. I know that's the true definition. Technically, nah. I know it's some black blackamoors, nigga, still in Europe running shit. I know it is. It's no way them niggas gave. I feel like they told us they came out of power. That's what they told us. Like, oh yeah, we lost. That's what they told us. Remember, Rod Hayes and Young Elder dropped the Black Devils. I gotta rewatch that now.
This video fucked. You know we can't talk about the Orsinis.
Fuck that, bro. People need to know.
Remember,
but they got
this is for entertainment purposes only.
They ain't gonna save us, bro.
The Orsini family has held influence and power for centuries. However, most don't even know the name. Let's get into it. When people talk about powerful families, you'll hear names like Rockefeller or Rothschild, but one name a lot of people don't speak of is the Orsini. Now, the family emerges in Rome around the 11th century, right as the Catholic Church is becoming the most powerful institution in Europe. And by the 1200s, the Orsini weren't just nobles, they were church royalty, or what history today calls black nobility.
Y'all know what time it is.
Take Giovanni Gaetano Orsini, who became Pope Nicholas III in 1277. His papacy is openly documented as one of the most nepotistic in Vatican history. He appointed relatives to key positions, consolidated land, and actually strengthened his family's control over Rome and the Papal States. Across centuries, the Orsini have produced 5 popes and at least 34 cardinals, which matters because cardinals are the ones who elect the popes. So that means they weren't just in power, they actually helped decide who got power. The Orsini controlled fortresses and territory all across Rome, Lazio, Umbria, and southern Italy even, and would intermarry with other elite houses like the Medici and European royalty. Power married power for centuries. In modern times, the Orsini are often named among what people call the 13 bloodlines, 13 different lineages that have held power for thousands and thousands of years. Empires fell, revolutions happened, governments reset. They didn't. The Orsini actually had literature written about them back in the 1200s, where they were accused of devil worship. The Orsini lineage is still alive and well today. Dukes, dons, and princes, and even one some call the Grey Pope.
We definitely shouldn't be talking about the Grey Pope.
Who? Fuck that, bro. They all trace back to the Orsinis.
The Grey Pope is Pepe Orsini. He trumps the black, he trumps the white Pope.
The Grey Pope is even higher than the black and the white Pope.
The Orsini is the Maxima family. They are the maximum family. They are on top. And somehow they trump the Colonna and the Farnese, which I know without any doubt through all my studies that they are the three most powerful Illuminati.
What about Rothschild and Rockefeller?
Well, they are Orsini. They just changed their name. Rockefeller were Rothschilds. Rothschilds were Orsini. Orsini were a family which have their blood lines in Babylon and Egypt. They tell you that. You read their biographies, they'll tell you that. We go back to Nimrod, they'll tell you that. The Rothschilds say that. We go back to Nimrod. How? Through the Orsini. So Rockefeller, Rothschild, Orsini, and then you go back to the Persian and Egyptian dynasties.
It's mad they would inbreed for so
my
many
light turned
generations.
off right when he said that.
Jacob Rothschild.
Hold on, let me get my second light.
Right?
And Baron James, who was head of the Paris branch and the youngest of the 5 sons of Mariam Rothschild, gave an astonishing, uninhibited description of the 19th century Rothschild policy of keeping it in the family. I'll quote to you from what he wrote and make you smile. In our family, we've always tried to keep love in the family.
Oh, Jacob!
In this sense, it was more or less understood since childhood that children would never think of marrying outside the family, so that our fortune would never leave it. You couldn't write that today.
That's fucking crazy.
I told you, bro.
Most of the people of these bloodlines do not have surnames that match the bloodline that they belong to. Their only major connection, so to speak, is when they are...
How? Through the Orsini. So Rockefeller, Rothschild, Orsini, and then you go back to the Persian and Egyptian dynasties.
It's mad they would inbreed for so many generations.
Jacob Rothschild said it himself, bro.
Oh, he admitted to inbreeding?
And Baron James, who was head of the Paris branch and the youngest of the 5 sons of Mariam Rothschild, gave an astonishing, uninhibited description of the 19th century Rothschild policy of keeping it in the family. I'll quote to you from what he wrote and make you smile. In our family, we've always tried to keep love in the family. In this sense, it was more or less understood since childhood that children would never think of marrying outside the family, so that our fortune would never leave it. You couldn't write that today.
That's fucking crazy.
You couldn't write that today.
Most of the people of these bloodlines do not have surnames that match the bloodline that they belong to. Their only major connection, so to speak, is when they are put before the Grand Dame, and she is to give her approval as to whether they're accepted into the Illuminati or not when they're like age 3, and they're given a physical inspection, just like the Masons don't want anybody who's got physical defects. And they're given an overall inspection, and in that initiation ceremony, they will announce what bloodline they belong to. But then they will continue going through life with a plethora of other names. So when you see these families like the Astor family go from being totally poor, and in a few years, John Jacob Astor is the richest man in North America. He couldn't hardly speak any English. His English was broken. And he was the type of person that if you were sitting beside him eating, he might grab your shirt and wipe his dirty face on it while he was eating the meal.
Savage.
He was gross, he was crude. He was not somebody that you would enjoy being around. Yet this man who could barely speak English and who is an exceptionally obnoxious person, within a few years became the most richest man in America. Now, how did that happen? It's because somebody in the Illuminati councils had decided the Astor bloodline, which is a bloodline that goes back to antiquity. The name is a derivative of Astarte. They had decided that the Astor family, would be given that privilege.
It's wild to think there's people.
So they know some shit that we don't know. They said, we don't give a fuck how this dude acts in the physical. This Astor family bloodline has to be put in position here. But it's like, if this dude was illiterate, couldn't read, why would they give him all this wealth?
People pulling the strings like that.
What y'all think, man?
Yeah, bro. They even choose who's going to be president.
It is a known fact that all the presidents that have, reigned in the United States
have all been related. It's fascinating that the Bible doesn't speak about the presidents of the world, it speaks about the kings of the world.
Kings.
And it really, over the course of history, hasn't mattered which of the candidates has won, because the candidates have always both been in the same bloodline. Now, that's a fascinating story, because Charlemagne is, of course, the one who was crowned emperor of the Roman Empire, the new Roman Empire, and the Pope was crowning him whilst his kingdom was falling apart. So he's a symbol of this unity of the world under one leadership, the papacy. So you have these high-profile Catholics as vice presidents. The Jesuits themselves said if you have to choose sides, then a Jesuit can choose one side and represent it to the point of death, while a fellow Jesuit may choose the opposite side and defend that to the point of death. That is the Hegelian dialectic. So it really wouldn't have mattered which one of these two would have become the vice president. And it really wouldn't have mattered which one of these two would have become president.
Just goes to show how pointless politics is.
Yeah, bro. It's all smoke and mirrors.
The deep state begins with the Rothschilds and the Vatican. They have had financial power since time immemorial. The Rothschilds were instrumental in setting up central banks. These central banks are the means by which private interests control public interests. They manipulate interest rates. The other billionaires make their money by manipulating interest rates, by manipulating foreign exchange rates, by starting wars to drive up the price of oil so that Goldman Sachs can make its futures bet, okay? So the deep state is about bankers, including religions, the Vatican particularly, but also the Jewish religion as manipulated by the Zionists in Israel. Saudi Arabia and Wahhabism is part of the deep state. And then you have the complicit media, complicit academics, and then you have the secret intelligence services that are using their powers to spy on politicians and blackmail the politicians on behalf of the deep state.
Makes you wonder how much war there'd be if these lunatics weren't in charge.
They're behind all of them, bro.
Look what's happened in the last 23 years.
World stage.
A disgrace. I personally investigated the Oklahoma City bombing case. Huge cover-up. Jack Kennedy's assassination, huge cover-up. Bobby Kennedy's assassination, huge cover-up. World Trade Center, huge cover-up. Okay, terrorism. They're using it as an excuse to take away our constitutional rights and our civil liberties. The Bilderbergs.
Listen, bro, this Hegelian dialect shit, they create the bad guy, they create the good guys, they create the problem, and they create the solution. They create the platform, the scenario, they create the where they're fighting at, the battlegrounds. Everything is manufactured on this world stage.
The Illuminati, Bilderberg, New World Order, globalists are the element behind this. It dovetails into the satanic movement, and this movement has infiltrated into our intelligence community, the once great FBI and the CIA.
We're skating on thin ice here.
Fuck that, bro. It's gonna get a lot worse.
The name Illuminati originally came from being illuminated, i.e. aware, awakened of the truths of it. And as happens in all the time, power corrupts. And it's all to do with the bloodline. So we're talking about the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, the JP Morgans, the royal families of Egypt, royal families of Europe. They're all tied into this bloodline.
I'm going to be reacting, like I said, way more professional type videos. Shout out to Terror.
And once you've created 2 or 3 religions, well, you can set them against one another. And that's why they created countries, because now you can set countries against each other. And the thing is, the Illuminati create all the wars on the planet. And they've created them all since 1300. okay? Because the Illuminati are the very first weapons merchants. They became so rich because of discoveries they made in the Crusades that they became richer than the state, richer than the church, and they were the power brokers in Europe, and they were the weapons manufacturers. What they do is they set the governments up against one another, and they manufacture wars. And that's why they think people are stupid.
It's hard to believe all wars are manufactured.
Trust me, bro. They even funded Hitler.
It's a basic New World Order, an Illuminati, if you will, which is primarily run by the Rothschild family. The Rothschilds finance...
This nigga joined the chat and said, what is this? Can you not read? You said, what's up, bro? Hope you had a grand rising. I didn't see you say that. What up, bro? But yeah, bro, you could read the title, bro. But yeah, right now we talking about the 13 Illuminati bloodline. I didn't see you say grand rising though. Grand rising, brother. Nigga, read the title, nigga.
Against Stalin and the takeover of Russia, the Bolshevik Revolution, 1917. They have financed the French Revolution. They financed World War II. They financed Hitler, and they were financing the U.S. So they believe in order out of chaos. You fund both sides of a war, and whichever side wins, you got their vote, because you're their paymaster. You've given them their money. You control their financial supply, which means you can control the government, okay? And you profit no matter what, right? And also what happens is that the war stimulates the economy, so you get much more infrastructure and much more buildings coming out of it. That's why, for example, Ford Motor Company was building tank plants in Germany, which is why Hitler's Wehrmacht had the tanks. It was from Ford. When American bombers bombed Ford's tank plants in Germany, Ford personally repaid Hitler so he could rebuild the tank plants faster. Boeing actually was shipping, this has been documented, was shipping passenger airliners to South America, which were then sent to Africa, where they ripped the seats out and turned them into Hitler's bomber fleet. That was Boeing. These are American corporations. The whole idea of these big wars is a joke.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, bro. Loads of American corporations funded Hitler.
I discovered amongst the Nuremberg records a series of bank transfer slips to the Delbrück-Schickler Bank in Berlin to an account which was under the control of Rudolf Hess. And this was the fund that was used to finance Hitler's access to power in March 1973. And amongst the corporations that transferred money to Hitler, I find not only R.G. Farben, which is quite widely known, but also German General Electric, AEG, which is under the control of General Electric in the United States, or was at that time, and companies like Osram.
So then we have Ford and we have General Electric helping to finance Adolf Hitler's rise to power. Were any other large American corporations involved?
Very definitely. Standard Oil, through its technical association with IG Farben, and ITT, for example, International Telephone and Telegraph, was very intimately associated with the Nazis through Dr. Schroeder, who was head of the ITT subsidiaries in Germany. And ITT controlled companies which made not only electrical instruments, but also the Focke-Wulf plant, which made airplanes, fighter airplanes. American corporations, only a few, not many, financed Hitler through their subsidiaries.
I just learned
that. They transferred technology. They transferred material assistance, for example, stocks of tetraethyl before the Germans could manufacture it under the joint manufacturing agreement with the United States.
Basically what we're seeing then is American industry helping to provide the technology, helping to provide the finance, helping to provide the material that is going to allow Hitler to create his war machine.
Yes, that is correct. That is correct.
That's unbelievable.
It's true, bro. The Illuminati became corporations.
We see the nation states, we see the transnational corporations, we see the international bankers, we see the internationalist organizations like the United Nations, the World Bank, the International Monetary Fund, the Trilateral Commission, the Council of Foreign Relations. These are all storefronts for the power structure. They're like Hollywood movie sets. that all look like they have the power, but if you actually walk in, you'll see that they're really just kind of leaning up on 2x4s, that the power really isn't there either. Wherever the media directs your attention, that's where it ain't happening. And so once you understand that that's how the media distracts us and keeps us from seeing what's true, you have to look in the opposite direction almost to find what's really going on.
Right.
So instead of focusing all our attention on the visible part of the power structure, where the attention needs to be is on the puppeteers themselves, who are the sovereign powers that are behind the scenes of all the nation states, behind the scenes of all the transnational corporations, behind the scenes of the international bankers. And there is a lineage of sovereign structures that go back thousands of years. And it's very surprising to find out that most of the people that are truly the sovereigns and the families that are actually behind it, you've never heard them before.
Once I seen that picture, once you see, like, they got a picture like this too, I seen on Pinterest. But
and there is a lineage,
like, it's this whole Order of the Rosicrucians, Fabian Society. Like, there is so many orders that we don't know about. We don't even know where they're implemented at, how they're implemented, how they're being utilized, what their purpose is. Just learning the whole secret society thing will take you a few years. And I've been studying this, not in-depthly though, but see if they give a picture. Like, even pics like this, right? Or a pic like this. Look how many layers that is. So at the bottom, debt, slaves, birth, school, labor, taxes, debts, retirement cycle. Most people can't even get out of that loop. Population resource, labor units, religions, governments, education, and media, world population control, world resource control. But you gotta think about it. Most people stop at here, the corporations, right? Look at the top. Crown of Council of 13 world most richest families. You can't even get past level 2. World Financial Control, IMF, WB, central banks, tax revenue, interest revenue, Bank of International. And these all coincide with each other. Powerful sub-families. You got sub-families. Committee of 300 world's richest most... Bro, there's too many levels to this shit, bro. And I'll probably be walking by them every day. I know I be driving by these folks' house every day. I'm in Arizona. It be elites out here. You feel me? I'm just like, damn, these motherfuckers is... It's crazy, bro. Because they got to be blending in society. Or I think a lot of them don't live in America, too.
Of sovereign structures that go back thousands of years. And it's very surprising to find out that most of the people that are truly the sovereigns and the families that are actually behind it, you've never heard them before. You've never even heard their name. They're invisible.
You've heard one of their names before, bro.
Don't say it.
Yeah, bro. It's Epstein.
It was a world that existed there would be a combination of both politics and business and leadership. What do I mean? He formed something called the Trilateral Commission. The Trilateral Commission is some spooky stuff. People said it was some of the people that, the Illuminati, there's some mystery about it, people that ran the world. It was politicians, but David said most countries, the politicians get elected for 4 years or 8 years, separate from the royal families in England or in the Middle East. Someone's there for 4 years and then they're not there anymore. The most important people to have stability and consistency would be businessmen. So he formed this Trilateral Commission of businessmen and politicians from 3 major continents. So it was the North Americans, the Europeans, and the Asians. So he said to me, would you like to be on the Trilateral Commission? Now, I was 30 years old, 32 years old. I said, great. And he said, well, you have to fill out this application so they have your bio. And I looked at the list of people, and it was Bill Clinton, former president of the United States, Paul Volcker, every great leader in America, the Asians, the Japanese, and with a very long description of their history. And they asked me to fill in what I would like to have written. And I wrote Jeffrey Epstein, comma, just a good kid, which I thought was funny, nobody else did.
Just goes to show everyone knew he was a sick fuck.
The Trilateral Commission were in on it, bro. But we'll have to save that for next time.
I ain't gonna lie, let's get to the next video. So, the next video we're gonna be talking about Gooning. The problem with Gooning. If you're about to goon, please watch this.
Millions of visitors a day. Meanwhile, a major study from the UK found that 20% of teenagers admitted habitual use and 10% thought they might be addicted. And those are just the people admitting it. You see, in just a couple of decades.
That's the thing. Most people are not going to admit they got a problem or admit they like going through this process because it's become so normalized, masturbation. I told y'all, when I was in 8th grade, I looked up like, yo, is masturbation bad for you? Google told me like, no, it's normal. It's normal to masturbate and do all these things. Because I remember one time I had smacked my meat and nigga, my nuts was hurting hella bad. I'm like, what the fuck? Like my stomach was hurting. I'm like, what the fuck I just do? Cause I just disrupted all my fucking chakras. I just disrupted all my, you gotta understand your seed, when you hold it in your nutsack, it go up your vertebrae. All these foods go up your vertebrae, go through your, it help your blood work. When it travel up your vertebrae, them same fluids go to your brain. Now you thinking clear. Now you more stronger. Now you more witty. Now you got better hand-eye coordination, etc., etc. That's why they say you busting nuts all the time. It fuck your eyesight up, cause you missing vital life fluids, and these eyes is portal to the soul.
Adult content has transformed from a niche product into
the thing is, I ain't gonna keep pausing, but the thing is they introduced this shit to us when we young.
A massive billion-dollar market that is saturating all of TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Everything online is funneling into it. And essential to this new order are the tube sites, whose shadowy owners rake in hundreds of millions, often while remaining completely anonymous. We've spoken about it before with just one guy. But the scale of this epidemic is way too large to even comprehend. But we can understand what's happening on a personal level, and how these companies push people into this terrible addiction, and how all of our basic human instincts are being rewired to make a profit. Because to truly understand the scope of the damage the porn industry is doing, we need to understand the daily lives of people who are so sucked up into this industry that it's completely destroying their lives without anyone ever talking about it. You see, because people's descent into this content addiction starts well before they ever clicked on their first adult video. Today, parents do have a lot more tools to use when bringing up their children. But a lot of the time, these tools bring a lot of unexpected damage. You see, if your kid's acting up or making a scene, or really doing anything the parents don't like, all you gotta do is put this kid in front of a tablet and let them stare at the screen for a few hours while you can relax. Welcome to the generation of iPad.
Even that tongue shit. When I first seen that tongue, I'm like, what the fuck is that? It's so weird. It's like some Gmod type shit. Y'all remember we used to play the game Gmod where like you could make the characters glitch and stuff like that? Like that game that you download on stream. It's like a Happy Wheels type of vibe on it. It's like they disguising it for kids, but it's not supposed to be for kids. Cause remember we playing Happy Wheels growing up, we playing these games, Happy Tree Friends and all this stuff. It's like, who designed this to make it look like it's for kids? I ain't gonna lie. Whoever designed the show Happy Tree Friends had to be some Epstein motherfuckers. Y'all remember that shit? Happy Tree Friends, bro.
Where a staggering 40% of 2-year-olds have their own tablets.
7 years old.
And in this video, it will soon be clear just how dangerous this really is. But let's rewind a bit, because most people watching this video probably didn't have an iPad at 2 years old, but instead got started a completely different way. The way that's completely addicted all of Generation Z and Millennials. Just like the subject of our story. Whilst this guy might not have been on an iPad at 2 years old, the fateful day came on his 10th birthday, when his relatively cautious parents finally relented and gave him his very first tablet. As he peeled the cellophane off the screen and sped through various setup menus, he only got more excited. And we all remember that feeling, when you get your first tablet or phone. Finally he could do what all kids want to do and go straight to YouTube. Now, despite only being 10, he was already well versed in the platform. Minecraft and Minecraft YouTubers were all that his friends talked about at school. He spent every minute he...
I watched a lot of Minecraft YouTubers growing up. If you go to my YouTube, this page right here I got. If I go to my subscribers, it's all gaming YouTube, because this is the channel I had when I was a kid. On this page right here. Minecraft YouTubers. I'm in a mine shaft looking at... y'all don't know about them days. They used to remix all the songs that was pop at the time. I made a cake. I'm wide awake. They used to like remix the songs. That shit used to be lit.
Kid watching videos on the ancient family desktop when his parents weren't watching. But now with a device to himself, he was let loose, able to watch whatever he wanted night and day.
My camera froze?
Like most kids, he could quickly bypass the flimsy parental controls and made an account of his own. And soon enough, he was doom scrolling away with the best of them. As the days and weeks went past, the novelty quickly wore off. But as this kid got deeper into YouTube, this started to spiral out of hand. At first, he stuck to YouTube as his friends talked about at break time and at lunch. Things in the real world like Lego and Nerf guns still kept his interest, but once the algorithm got a feel for what he liked and adverts started understanding his psychology, he would recommend different things one after another. Different YouTubers, different ads, and soon enough he would spend almost every single day watching hours of content. The Nerf guns and the Lego bricks start gathering dust. His parents wonder why he doesn't come downstairs anymore. It's a process that happened to hundreds of millions of kids all throughout the West in the last decade. And let's zoom out of his life quickly and look at what's really started happening. For this kid, it felt like the world moved far too slowly. Adults walk too slowly, they talk too slowly, and each lesson in school seemed to last 1,000 years. Meanwhile at home, he would get bored incredibly quickly. If he wasn't engrossed in the virtual world, then he'd annoy everyone around him until he found a solution. This is where Google's YouTube algorithms come in. They used to offer the only service that can keep up with the attention span of a kid. The related video tab is the key to the whole process, jumping from one piece of the content to the next, which would eventually lead to the disastrous consequences happening to Generation Alpha, but we'll get to that later. But it's critical to understand that it's this process of searching and finding that makes social media a perfect product to get kids hooked in early, as they always get to see bright colors, more dopamine, more excitement, more happiness, and a never-ending thing to click on, which can keep a kid entertained for hours as they ride a never-ending wave of dopamine. Now this is bad enough by itself, and we've already spoken about this a bunch on the channel. Teachers across the world have already...
Bro, just off of dopamine and porn aside, right? Gooning and porn aside, the problem of not even the attention span, but the amount of people that got their head in their phone, bro. The amount of people that got their head inside of their phone is ridiculous.
Been complaining for years now that kids are getting harder to teach, and we all know this by now, it's kind of old news. But this isn't what we're really focusing on right now. Instead, we want to keep looking at how this is damaging a child's development in a completely different way, and how this very likely happened to you watching this right now. Because fast forward a couple of years, and this kid just had his 12th birthday. He's about to hit puberty, although there's still obviously a long way to go. By this point, he's so used to scrolling online, he probably plays games online, he sees ads with hot women trying to lure him into scammy websites, and then one day he'll go back to watching YouTube when another video catches his eye. Rather than a usual let's play, this thumbnail has an extremely suggestive image and
I never thought about it like that. When you a kid, the fucking female the female YouTubers. Y'all remember Sniper Wolf? Oh shit, I forgot about Sniper Wolf. But Sniper Wolf, she didn't post her ass or nothing. So you didn't have no reason to like jack your shit or nothing to her because she didn't post her ass or nothing. But you still was like, oh, she's pretty. That's how they get you. Sniper Wolf, SS Sniper Wolf. We 8 years old, like, oh my God. For me, what introduced me to this, bro, I remember this shit like it was yesterday. I was playing a game with some niggas I was in middle school, but they lived in my apartments. Like we played outside and stuff. Like I used to go outside and play, you know, we get kids. But up to 11 years old, never touched, never smacked my shit, nothing. I'm full regular kid, charged up, I'm on the land. I remember we on the game and they like, yeah, I'm finna go beat my shit. I'm finna go beat my meat, something like that. I'm like, you finna go what? He's like, yeah, I'm finna go this and that. But they liked it. They was like 13 at the time. I was like 11. So they hopping off the game to go smack that shit. And I'm like, I want to be cool too. So I'm like, shit, I'm hanging with the older kids. I know what that is. You feel me? I don't know why my camera keep doing this shit, bruh. On this video, bruh. I'm gonna have to redo this shit, bro. Fuck. I don't give a fuck. I'm posting this shit how it is, botched and fucked up. I don't give a fuck, bro. But I went and watched the cause the WWE what's his name, Stephanie McMahon. He used to bring the WWE divas, and the WWE divas used to look, but that was baddies. They was basically like on some Zeus baddie shit. You feel me? There'd be some pretty white girls with their titties out and they ass, and they playing the slow music, and it'd be two girls wrestling against each other. Smack my shit to that shit. And I'm like, whoa, that felt good. Remember that shit, bro? I was 11 years old. But when you really think about that shit, think about it like outside of your body, think about it as like, when I have kids, like that shit's scary. That's how fast it is to get introduced to fucking the devil. I was playing the game, talking to some kids that was older. They wasn't even that older than me though. Like they was like 13, cause I knew them. So it's like, but when they said it, that was the first time I ever heard of that shit. Like somebody talking about it. But then I remember when I was 8 years old, Lil Wayne was like, she sucked me to the brown off. That's that. And then he had said something about masturbate. I masturbate or something like that. And I'm like, hey dad, what does masturbate mean? Oh, and miss me whenever when I'm gone. Is it cause you miss me when I'm gone? Y'all remember Drake, Miss Me? I remember I asked my dad when I was 8. I'm like, hey dad, what masturbate mean? He was like, hey, don't do that shit. It fuck up your chi. Because I was doing taekwondo at the time. He's like, it destroy your chi, fuck up your chi, which is your energy, etc., etc. But I'm like, that's crazy how I've been getting programmed. We all been getting programmed to release our energy. I didn't figure out about semen retention, no FAP, and all this stuff until I turned 20 years old. If I would have knew about semen retention in high school, I'd have been a god, boy. Ooh, I'd have been a god. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'd have been a god.
Despite his watch history clearly indicating that he's a child, YouTube had recommended this to him anyway. While he didn't click on it the first time he saw it, just like the adverts popping up all over with hot women, these kinds of videos just kept on coming up, and the adverts just kept piling in. These ads on the side of the screen are often far more explicit. He already knew to ignore these, but the constant barrage of this imagery every single time he was on the platform starts to make it all seem normal. Eventually his curiosity gets the better of him, but it isn't what he expected. In fact, it was relatively tame and almost disappointing. He'd type in things like tits on the YouTube search, and it'd always be some scammy weird video.
Bro,
and yet
all my life, when I was in second grade, I typed in we found a picture of some tit. I remember this shit. I don't know how I remember this shit, but in second grade, I remember we found titties on a flip phone. And we was like, oh, look, titties. Like, we was showing it to not the class, but my group of friends. But I remember I brought a BB gun to school. I was showing titties to my friends. Like, look, we found titties on the phone. Mine just a flip phone. This one I had the flip phone, bruh. Motorola. Did my shit just freeze again? I'm finna crash out, bruh. Nigga, I'm yapping. Bro, my shit just froze again, gang. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm gonna really slap a nigga, boy. Why are they doing this for this video, though? Maybe because my camera too hot or something? I don't know. Probably because that shit too hot. But my house
People
ain't
at
even
school
hot.
were starting to now talk about things that were far more graphic.
Bro,
but now that
every time, gang. I can't even do this video, bro. Oh my god, bro. I'm about to just turn my camera off.
And just a slight interest in this stuff, YouTube and these adverts knew to keep recommending him this content, as the algorithm doesn't see this as a problem, just a new way to optimize user interaction. Already though, he was starting to feel the negative effects even if he wasn't aware of it. The videos made him feel ashamed, even though he couldn't put his finger on what he had actually done wrong.
They don't feel
and
good.
Yet with this response, he also felt a dopamine rush. And so behind the scenes, that same dopaminergic loop that got him addicted to regular YouTube Kids content was working its magic once again. Meanwhile, YouTube's negligent content rules lets tons of inappropriate kids content proliferate the platform. And it's not just on YouTube these days, it's on every social media site. And what's worse, the accompanying
Not only that, you'll have your favorite YouTuber put in a big booty girl. So your favorite YouTuber is playing off the fact that you're not old enough to go outside and deal with women, or you're under the age or whatever it is, and you can't deal with women on your own, yet you're not at that point yet. You're not mature in your brain. So the YouTuber gonna have a girl in every video to lure in kids that haven't experienced stuff yet. Freaky date night and all that shit. Y'all remember that wave? Even though I used to watch DDG growing up, a lot of times them niggas got y'all attention because they had women in their videos.
Which seem to have no rules whatsoever on what they can show people. And as they're the ones actually paying social media platforms, it makes sense from a cold corporate perspective not to mess with them. YouTube gets away with this by using their dedicated kids app as a shield. Now recently this has got much stricter restrictions and is a whole lot safer for children as of recent.
Right, yeah, YouTube
but the thing
on it
is
now.
that most kids aren't going to be using that app. Instead, once they find a way around the parental controls, if they've ever been set up, they'll be straight onto the adult platform.
Right.
Meanwhile, even the safe content plays a similar role to the candy cigarettes of
YouTube
previous
not as bad though.
generations.
YouTube used
While
to be
not
bad.
really harmful in a vacuum, they create the foundation and the pathways for the later much more harmful and real addiction. The process of searching, finding, and browsing through the recommended videos will always remain the same.
Dopamine.
And as time goes on, this guy kept on watching the videos, although they didn't ever seem to scratch the same itch as they once did. What started out as something new now got boring pretty quickly once again. And so he would have to search for a more extreme dopaminergic response.
Yeah.
He needed something more extreme to satiate his dopamine receptors.
That's the problem,
And
bro.
that process, while always going on at the micro level, soon appeared as part of an overall trend as well. He'd find something new that caught his attention for a time until it happened to start getting old. Then he'd try and find something else that was more exciting and it would happen all over again. And so
Not
soon
only
enough,
do you get more extreme with it, but you got to think about this. You're doing this while your brain is underdeveloped. You getting into different, bro. You in middle school watching somebody get slutted out and going to school the next day and acting like everything is normal. You like, and on top of that, you're playing video games. I can't wait to react to that video too. You're playing video games, shooting people all day. I'm playing GTA. My mama walking in. My mom, to this day, nigga, my mom would be like, oh yeah, I remember walking in on you playing the game and it's a sex scene. Not a sex scene, but it's like a GTA stripper. And she like, what you doing? I'm like, Mom, I'm playing the game. Like, why you gonna walk in right now? Like, I'm on some weird shit. Like, but she still to bring that up to me. I'm like, okay, like, that just shows your lack of parenting. Like, don't try to put that on. No, I love my mom. I love her. I'm just playing. I'm just saying, like, don't try to make, like, what the fuck you trying to say? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was playing a game. So what? We having fun. You better hope, you better like that. Okay, I no offense to other people, but at least you know I like women. Shit. I'm playing a game. She said I used to be walking in. You at the strip club. I'm RP. I'm playing RP right now. We on the game. We all on the game. That's back. Cause I lived with my mom until I was like 12. Now I'm moving with my dad. But yeah, she'll bring it up with me on the phone. I'm like, bah, you be remembering random shit.
his interest started to expand beyond the scope of what YouTube
Remember,
could
just
even
random
offer.
shit.
But in his real actual life, none of these needs were being met. His actual deep need for love and sex was instead being satiated by solely pixels on a screen, meaning the actual need for love, community, and family is nowhere near ever met for this guy. And soon enough,
no
he was
bap,
looking
yo.
at one of the
No bap, y'all. My camera too hot right now, bro. My camera's too hot.
sites again, this time for long enough to start watching one
I'm
of
gonna have to do this video again. I can't even post this shit. I can't post this shit. It's over with. It's over with, bro. It's over with. This whole reaction I can't post. I'm gonna post it on long form for sure. But I'm gonna have to do another porn video. I'm gonna do this one.
On January 10th, 2025, a clip of a man pulling up to a barista in Tempe, Arizona.
I'm gonna react to that shit probably tomorrow.
millions of visitors a day. Meanwhile, a major study from the UK found
Because
that
I swear to God, if I check my live one more time and I'm frozen, I'm gonna punch my fucking laptop, bro, and never stream again. I swear to God, bro, I'm gonna crash out, bro.
none of these needs were being met. His actual deep need for love and sex was instead being satiated by solely pixels on a screen, meaning the actual need for love, community, and family is nowhere near ever met for this guy. And soon enough, he was looking at one of the sites again, this time
Yeah,
for long
bro.
enough to start watching one of the
Camera
videos
playing
on the
crazy.
front page. At first, most of the stuff seemed gross and just
It's-
weird.
it's just too
the
hot.
things that YouTube videos had cloaked in innuendos were
overheating my
fully on
camera.
display. But over time, this novelty wore off, and he kept coming back, never noticing the habit forming until it was far too late. And soon enough, he was looking at these sites every day. Suddenly, he'd talk about it every day with his friends at school. The content began to seep into his subconscious and his thoughts, shaping the entire way he saw the world around him. As he got deeper into the habit, the sacred things like love, romance, and family had all completely disintegrated into a vision of these things that doesn't exist. None of the girls he liked at school looked anything like the women on screen. He didn't look like the man in the videos either, and he didn't think he ever would. But at the same time, the rest of his life seemed fine. In fact, despite school pressure and everything else, he started getting close with a girl. But even though things might have been going well, the fact that he kept using these sites would completely disturb his thoughts. Real life was completely different. It's risky, it's dangerous, and unpredictable. The things you want are hard. It demanded things from him rather than just offering them. So one day when he began talking about intimacy with her, some of the things he wanted and said started to disturb her. The things that he asked that he now thought were normal frightened her, with his resentment growing towards people like her just because she didn't fit into the site's narratives about women. And at the end of the day, it never really mattered, as he could go right back to what he felt was safe and secure, where he knew he wouldn't be judged on these sites. Really, he should never have been able to get access to these sites in the first place. And for years, this has been a point of contention, because at first there weren't any measures at all to stop kids from looking at them. But eventually, after seeing the disastrous effects these sites can have on children, they eventually put warnings on them when you first load the site. That's really it. And after a point, it just becomes part of the process and the habit. It's doubtful people even read that box after the third or fourth time clicking it anyway. But maybe—
Hey, I appreciate it, Jay. And yeah, bro, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, the fact that they playing it crazy like this, I'm about to just— but the only thing is, it's just my camera overheating. But I put that shit in the freezer, try to cool it down a little bit, but I'm like, nah. I'm just gonna react to— I'm gonna post— we gonna get one of these videos out. It's still good. It's still gonna— the stream gonna be posted, so y'all can still fuck with the stream. But I don't want to post the video of me complaining and it's lagging and I keep freezing.
if our subject had downloaded Quitter, the gooning wouldn't have got so out of control. You see, Quitter is the #1 science-backed app, helping over 300—
Alright, he got paid. He got paid to make a video. Alright, he got paid to make that video. Hell nah. I'm getting off.
50,000 men quit porn and rewire their minds for greatness. As we've seen throughout this video, porn addiction is destroying lives. It kills your motivation, it wrecks your relationships, and it keeps you from reaching your full potential. And the truth is, the longer you take to stop gooning, the harder it becomes to quit. So if you're serious about becoming the strongest version of yourself, try Quitter today. As this app isn't just a blocker, it's a community of people who are moving away from the poisonous economy of adult content and porn, who are done living below their potential and are now taking back control of their lives. Because with Quitter, instead of having to go through this addiction alone, you can join thousands of others, pushing each other to stay strong, break free of this addiction, and reclaim their lives. Quitter will provide you all the tools you need to overcome your urge.
Hey, look, man, I love y'all, man. I'm gonna be back a little later today. We gonna react to this. We gonna react to like one of these type of videos tomorrow in the morning, and redo it. You know what I'm saying? I might do that. I'm gonna do a corn video first. Pause. But we're gonna react to some more videos tomorrow. We're gonna react to some more these type of videos tomorrow, but we're gonna react to some other type of videos later today. So I'm gonna stream live later today too, y'all. You feel me? So I'll be right back. All right. Blueface, baby. All right, Blueface got a bump out. That shit. But yeah, I'm gonna be back.